Hi everybody, this is Jennifer and welcome to my channel. You might have noticed the new channel name and the new channel art if you've been by the actual channel page. My photo thing hasn't changed, but the channel art has. I've been away for a little bit, but I am back and I am happy to be back. I moved and there's been some adjustments and I've just been taking a break. And so as a result of my move, I've had to put like 2/3 of my books in storage. So what I wanted to do today was give you a quick tour of the books that I have with me now that are not in storage, that are actually on a shelf. So I'm going to do a very nice, very quick bookshelf tour, and you know, hope you like it. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so let's get started with the first shelf. These books are not separated by read or unread. They're separated mainly by type of book, like my trade paperbacks and my hardcovers are in one area, and then I have the mass market paperbacks in another area, but you'll see as we go along. The first book I have is Call Me By Your Name by Andre Osman. Then At Night We Walk in Circles by Daniel Alarcon. We have Mansfield Park and then Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. We have The Rule of the Bone by Russell Banks. Off Magazine Street by Ronald Everett Capps. The Yiddish Policeman Union by Michael Chabon. We have The Virgin Suicides and Middlesex by Jeffrey Eugenides. The Cold Comfort Farm by Stella Gibbons. The Library at Mount Char by Scott Hawkins. Southern Gods by John Horner Jacobs. The Czar of Love and Techno by Anthony Mara. Should probably be with my short stories, but they're kind of interwoven. I'm not sure about that one. The location about that one. I'm sure I'm going to love it once I get around to it. Bellamy by Guy de Maupassant. That's an Oxford World Classic. We've got, all right, we can go back a little bit here. The Lesser Bohemians by Emer McBride. The Census Taker by China Miéville. Circe by Madeline Miller, which I have read and I absolutely adore. It's my favorite book of the year so far. Let's see, we have Beloved by Toni Morrison. The Essex Serpent by Sarah Perry. Inherent Vice by Thomas Pynchon. The Seventh Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which would be my favorite book if it weren't for Circe and the Seventh Function of Language. We have The Accidental by Ali Smith. Nevermind by Edward St. Aubin. And Crossing to Safety by Wallace Stegner. And that's the first row of books. Alright, I'm going to have to apologize for the weird angle on this one. I'm in a very small corner right now. So first up we have, for the second shelf, The Killer Inside Me by Jim Thompson. A Confederacy of Dunces by John Kennedy Toole. The Seven Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle, which I actually got early because I didn't want to wait until September to read it when it came out in the United States, and I still have not read it. Shame on me. Fingersmith by Sarah Waters. The Interestings by Meg Wolitzer. To the Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf. And now we're on to my short story collections. The Beginning of the World in the Middle of the Night by Jen Campbell. The Paper Menagerie and Other Stories by Ken Liu. The Price of a Haircut by, who's this guy's first? Brock Clark. I saw that on Steve Donahue's channel. And then The Metamorphosis and Other Stories by Franz Kafka. We're going to head into nonfiction now. We have A Cook's Tour by Anthony Bourdain. Portraits and Observations by Truman Capote. Gay Men Don't Get Fat by Simon Doonan, which I've had forever and still haven't read. Oscar Wilde by Richard Ellman. The Elements of Style by Mark Forsyth. The Futilitarians by Anne Gislesen. The Histories by Herodotus. That's a new pickup in a Penguin Classic. Then we have Words Fail Me by Patricia O'Connor. See, there's the name there. Uh-oh. All right, So next up after that we have A Sense of Style by Steven Pinker. He's wrote a few. I have a copy of The Scum Manifesto by Valerie Solanas, the woman who shot Andy Warhol and had a movie made about her. She's played by Lily Taylor. And then we have C'est la Folie by Michael Wright, and that is the second shelf. Alright, I'm afraid you guys might have to put up with a little bit of shaky cam on this last shelf. I cannot use my tripod, so there's that. First off, we have Eat, Shoots, and Leaves by Lynn Truss, A Room of One's Own by Virginia Woolf, The Lincoln Lawyer by Michael Connolly. This is where my trade paperbacks get started. This Side of Paradise by F. Scott Fitzgerald, Frequent Flyer and Armadillos and Old Lace by Kinky Friedman, Our Man in Havana by Graham Greene, The House of Seven Gables by Nathaniel Hawthorne, Siddhartha by Hermann Hesse, The Historian by Elizabeth Kostova, and then we have Death in Venice and Other Stories by by Thomas Mann. We have Cry to Heaven by Anne Rice, and if you can't notice, I read that a lot when I was younger, and I'm hoping to reread it at some point this year. Next up is Slaughterhouse-Five by Kurt Vonnegut, and You Can't Go Home Again by Thomas Wolfe. Alright, let's move a little bit this way. I'm sorry for the light issue, but unfortunately I'm in a corner here. Okay, so we have The Elements of Style by Strunk and White, Mythology by Edith Hamilton, The Theban Plays by Sophocles, 10 Plays by Euripides, that's the Bantam Classics, and then the other Penguin classic of Aeschylus is the Oresteia. And then we're on to the very last books we have here. I have book 2 of Lucifer by Mike Carey, and first book of Lock and Key by Joe Hill, and then I have an old world mythology textbook that I still use for research and stuff like that, and then Secrets of Simplicity. That's just a workbook about not owning a lot of stuff that I picked up for very, very cheap. Okay, so yeah, that's the third shelf. Alright, you guys, that was the tour of the bookcase I have in my room here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You can leave a comment if you want about any of the books. If you want to read any of those books with me, let me know and we'll work something out. Yeah, that's it. And I'm kind of tired from like being on the floor and stuff, so we'll end things here. I'll see you guys again soon, hopefully in the next week or something. Bye.